Hello.
Hello. So as requested, we're doing a little thing in English, and I'm hoping to keep doing it even after the quarantine and all this, some sort of isolation ends. So I'm hoping to have you here.
I'm here.
More often.
Okay.
Twice a month, maybe? I don't know. We're just gonna be talking about games, talking about game related things, doing top lists or something. So since Matt Pendry turned 30 yesterday, and he's old.
Yay.
He got a lot of presents.
Yes, I've been blessed.
You've been blessed.
I'm very fortunate.
Yes, you got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, and one expansion that we're not going to be talking about. The expansion is the Covenant. Can you thank you for helping me? Is the Covenant expansion for Alien Deck Builder,
Legendary.
the Legendary. So that's not here because it's an expansion. So it's very good.
It's very good.
It's very good. It is quite good actually. Like Alien was on the shelf for quite a long time. We didn't take it off the shelf.
We got it off the shelf. We've played quite a few games.
Yeah.
Not just of the expansion of the older one.
I like the scenarios and like the whole premise of what's going on in there. Yeah. It's quite good. But hey, now about that. About this.
Okay.
It's games. So Matt's gonna rank them from least favourite to most favourite. As he ranks them, we're gonna talk about them, and then I'm gonna say what my ranking is, because probably different to yours.
Yeah. I mean, they're all pretty new games that you can probably... Can you get these in Poland?
Well, this is coming out in Polish this year.
Yeah.
Don't know by who. I've got my guesses, but I don't know. This one is... I mean, this one is kind of could be language independent, because you can kind of make up your own stuff. This is probably not... This is coming out in Poland next year. Can't tell you from who, but I know. I think this one is in Poland already.
Alright. Well, we'll remind people as we go through.
This is not... And this is not yet. I hope it will be. Ah, stay here.
Okay.
I hope it will be, because it's a good game.
Alright.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Anyway, so what's your number 7?
Alright, yes, I'm ranking these. Feels bad to rank presents and say that one is the least favourite, but I suppose something has to be at the bottom. I like all of the games.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I'm hoping you like all of them, but...
However, if I were to be forced at gunpoint to rank them, number 7 would probably be Jaws. We just played it just now. Pretty cool game.
But we've played it before.
Yeah, we've played it before. So it's quite an odd game. It's definitely kind of a mass market. It's quite cheap components, so you can probably buy this fairly cheap.
Like in Target in America or something.
Yeah, I don't think the components are bad. I mean, the cards are really thin.
Yeah,
you can bend
that's
them
just
really
gonna
easily.
go really quickly.
If you have someone you play with who bends cards when they hold them, don't
Then
play
change
this game.
friends.
But I think the components are good enough for what it is. So the first half of the game basically involves, it's like a hidden movement game with the shark kind of secretly moving around the island eating swimmers, and the guys hunting the shark, you can have up to 3 players, will be moving. One of them moves around the islands trying to deliver
barrels.
The barrels to the docks, or to like search the beaches with his binoculars, or close beaches to try and protect the swimmers.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are in boats, kind of either looking for the shark or rescuing swimmers. And you've got to basically attach 2 barrels to the shark to end that scenario.
Yeah, what's annoying though is the one dude that can pick up... There's only one dude that can pick up the barrels from a city.
Yeah.
So he's got 4 moves, 4 actions. So he moves, picks it up, moves, drops it off. This is basically the whole game. He does this.
Yeah. If you end up being that character, it's pretty boring.
I think it's really hard for because twice we played it. You play the shark, I play the people.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really hard for the people to win the first bit of a game. I mean, it is possible.
Yes, you get 2 barrels attached. I think the last time we played, you got 1 barrel attached to me, or you might have got both.
maybe.
I think you do
So
get both
basically, if he eats 9 people, he wins the first half and he gets lots of bonuses
for the second half.
for the second half. Whilst if I catch him first, I get more bonuses for the second half.
Yeah. So once you've done that, move to the second half of the game and
Flip the board.
Flip the board, and then you create a boat out of like tiles, and each tile has like the good side of the boat and the broken side of the boat,
Yeah.
and then after the broken side of the boat is just the water. And so the shark will then be destroying the boat, trying to knock people in the water and try and kill them.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a bit like a guessing game, this next bit.
Yeah,
So there'll be
kind of.
basically there'll be 3 potential places for me to attack the boat, and I've got to pick one in secret, A, B or C, and then...
And the people move on the boat, target spaces, and then when the shark reveals himself, we just shoot him in the face.
Yeah, so the people get to attack first before the shark. So
Yeah.
if they've anticipated where he's going to be, they can do maximum damage to him. Then the shark smashes the boat. If they destroy a bit of the boat, they knock people in the water and they have to roll dice against them to see how many wounds
Yeah.
they lose. And it just keeps going like that until the boat is either completely destroyed, or the people are dead, or the shark is dead. And you killed me in the last game.
I did, but I was just like... boat was in 2 separate
Yeah, boat was
pieces
almost
floating.
completely sunk.
Once you're in the water, it's really hard to like move out the water because it takes you 2 moves to do it, and like,
Yeah.
but I managed to kill you.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a good game for just...
It's a family game. It's
a family
very
game,
simple
or
rules.
like if you're inviting over like a couple that doesn't really
Yeah,
play games,
yeah.
and you want to just
It's a
get something
non-gamer
easy.
game.
Yeah, and you can get into the theme, although we realise the Jaws theme track isn't that diverse. It's either happy, nice music or
Yeah.
Jaws music, and
Dun.
gets a bit grating after a while.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. So that's
That would be
Jaws.
my number 7 as well.
Yeah, I know you don't really enjoy that one.
I enjoy the second part when I'm killing you. I don't enjoy the first part when I have to find you. It's kind of like the Dracula game.
As the shark, it's the opposite way around. It's more fun
Yeah.
sneaking around killing people.
Yeah. Right, number 6.
Number 6. Oh god. Right. Well, for now, Draftosaurus. It's number 6. This plays 2 to 5 players,
Yeah.
and we've only played it 2 player so far. And for drafting games, I don't think 2 player works
No.
that well.
Yeah.
It's very much about hate drafting when you're playing with 2.
Yeah.
And we don't really like mean games.
You
but-
like mean games.
Well, yeah, but I don't like being mean to you because
Problem.
you don't like it.
Yeah.
But I love the components in this. The little wooden
They're
meeple
so
dinosaurs. They're really good
So
and
cute.
nice, bright colours. Easy to identify the different ones, and I like all the different scoring mechanics depending on where you put them.
It's
I
got
like-
2 boards as well.
Yeah, I like the fact there are 2 boards in the box. Like some would have made that like a mini expansion or
Yeah.
something. I like at least that's in.
But
the
it's because
box.
it's such a quick game. It says 15 minutes. It probably is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not longer than that. You can play like 2 games. That's what they like recommend. You play 2
Play on
and then
one
you
board,
score.
then on the other side of the board.
It says 8+ though. Like the age things on the boxes is always getting me because children are so different. Like you can have a probably 6-year-old who knows how to play
Yeah.
this, and you can have a 12-year-old who will struggle. So, like,
It all depends on how intuitive the kid is to
Yeah.
games, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, so really like that. I really want to try this with more people, like maybe the 4 or the 5 player count. See how that works.
so far we're going the same. That would be my 6 as well.
Yeah, for now it's number 6.
Yeah.
Right,
Number 5. Just put it up like.
Number 5. Right, Champions of the Wild. So this is a very strange game. It's almost doesn't. It's not like a serious
It's
game
a
at all.
party game.
It's
I
a
mean,
party game
you
for
can't
sure.
have a serious party games.
So essentially, the concept is the animals are going to the Olympics, and everyone's going to have a hand of animals at the start,
27.
and then 3 different Olympic events will be randomly kind of.
But they're
dealt
not
out.
normal Olympic events. They are.
There's like pie eating competition,
There's
or
supermarket sweep,
supermarket sweep.
truck contest, pop balloons. Like how
Popping-
many balloons in a room you can pop.
Yeah, but they do have like 100-meter sprint and
Yeah.
like hurdles and
It's
things.
a
like
nice
that as
mix
well.
of like normal Olympics and just like some
Yeah.
yeah.
And so
completely
then everyone
bonkers.
needs to select one animal from their hand who they think would do best in all of the events.
Yeah.
So you might have an animal that's really good at one event, but he's terrible at the other 2. So maybe you want to go with something that's a bit more of an all-rounder.
Yeah.
And so everyone picks their animals, and then we go through each event, and then you go around the table, and everyone has to put forward their case as to why they think their animal would do pretty good at this thing. Like, why my bear would be great at a pie eating competition.
Yeah, I couldn't believe last time.
He's big and could just snuffle up all the pies.
Yeah,
very
but
easy.
is it as good at this as, you know, a sprint or swimming or, you know, whatever,
Well,
jumping?
Bears can actually reach 22 miles an hour in a sprint.
Jumping!
Less so jumping.
There we go. I was just trying to say, like, as your uncle picked a beaver.
A bee.
I don't know why because he had because we missed the rule. So basically, if you have a lot of the same animal in your hand, if you have like a lot of insects, you can swap your hand. You can get a new hand because it's obviously very hard to choose. And he had literally 6 insects and a beaver. So he chose the beaver because it's the only one that's not an insect.
Yeah.
And it was just hilarious because the beaver wasn't great at anything.
So once you've picked your animals and you've made your case, then everyone's got to assign who they think is basically the order they think the animals are. So who they think the animal is best, second best, third best, but they can't vote for their own, obviously. So they do that, and each token is worth points. Obviously, if people give you first place tokens, you can get more points at the end. So it's a game about trying to argue why your animal is good at things.
Yeah.
And it's just funny.
And even if you know it's just absolute crap or whatever it is, you still try to argue for it to make like it's the best at something. Like it's obviously not, but
what was one of the really funny ones where it was obvious the animal was terrible at it? You tried to.
Oh gosh, I can't
It was
remember.
there's like an alligator doing a sprint or something like that.
There was an alligator doing a supermarket sweep, and so you can carry the bags in his jaws and
everyone's just like that.
no.
You got little stubby legs.
It's about how good the case is. So yeah, so that's number 5.
Yeah, it plays up to 8 players. I
Yeah.
think party games should always try and cater
Yeah.
for as many players as possible. So 8 is good.
So 7, 6, 5.
Right. Oh man, it's getting difficult now. Right, I'm not going to pull this one out because it's at the bottom. But Sanctum is my next one. So Sanctum it kind of has a Diablo feel to it, in that you start off with a very basic character and you go through the game leveling up but getting better and better loot, which allows you to manipulate dice better, and you get to the end and you have to fight a big demonic dragon and a big epic fight at the end.
Kind of feels like it's like kind of easy, like you're going through it, you're picking up the gear, you kind of smashing the demons, and there's like, oh my god, what's happening? It's just the last bit is just so hard. But yeah.
So, but the way it plays, it's basically just a dice placement Euro style game, really. You roll dice and you have to assign them to
kind of Euro with a theme.
Yeah, you assign. So you'll pick up monsters that you're going to fight, and then each monster will have certain dice numbers that it needs to kill that monster, and you'll have weapons that you can activate that allow you to manipulate those dice. And then every time you kill a monster, you flip it over and it's got loot on the other side, and you can spend gems to equip that loot onto your character.
There is a link below to the like a first impression video I've made before, so if you're interested, have a look.
Yes, pretty cool. It's got fairly good miniatures for the different characters in it, each in their own colours. So you don't need to paint them; you can leave them as their colours. They're pretty detailed. Apart from the red one in ours, the axe had fallen off. When we
it
bought
came
in
with a
the box.
broken axe.
It's a bit,
we
a bit
couldn't
flimsy.
be bothered to like write to them, hey, can you send me a new mini?
It's easy enough to fix with super glue.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll be painting them yet. I think they look all right as it is.
I mean, seeing as we're now in a lockdown and I'm not working, I'm probably going to paint them.
Maybe you'll paint them.
Yeah, because boring.
But I want to keep the theme of the colour for each one, the red, the blue.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sanctum, I mean, the only reason it's probably not higher is because it does...
It's repetitive.
It's quite... it doesn't have much replay value. You're just assigning dice to monsters, and all the monsters look the same. Like, all the level 1 green monsters are the same.
But this is what
artwork.
Diablo is, isn't it? It's exactly the same. All the monsters look exactly the same. It's all the same thing. You just walk into a different location, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, so I think this one will be a good one to play every now and then, but I don't think there's enough replay value to keep me coming back to it.
Also, I wouldn't play with more than 2 players, probably. I mean, if we play simultaneously, yes. If we have to wait for people's turns, hell no.
The game has an option to play simultaneously.
But you need to trust people and know what they're doing and kind of...
Yeah, so you could play it all simultaneously, but then it kind of, you don't even know what your opponent's doing. You might as well just playing your own little solo games.
Yeah.
Essentially, there's no interaction at all, and it's not a co-op. It feels like a co-op until the end, and it's like, well, whoever has suffered the least damage is the winner.
Yeah. I like the fact that it's not a co-op.
Yeah.
I like it. It's different.
Yeah. I mean, you're all doing the same. You all have the same goal in mind.
It feels like a co-op, but at the end you realise actually not. You're winning if you did better.
So yeah, that's why it's not higher, but
That's what
like
4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh
3?
man, it's getting difficult now. Right, number 3, I'm gonna go with Dominations.
Oh my gosh.
Dominations is a huge civilization game.
Huge.
Well, huge as in it takes like 2 hours to play. But then again, most civilization games take 2 hours to play, so it's a regular civilization length game.
Okay.
But it's a little bit abstracted in that little bit.
Abstract.
Pepper,
It's a domino. It's a domino style game. It's a domino game. You put in pieces. You put in pieces of pizza. You put in the triangles.
Yeah.
And you're trying to match the circles.
Well, hence the name Domino Nations. Domino Nations.
Duh! I mean, yeah, but it's like it's not like Through the Ages. Excuse me.
Wait. Down. Pebble.
It's not like Through the Ages where you play for 7 hours and you're not even halfway through and
No.
you have to keep track of all these little things and just.
The actual mechanics of the game are fairly straightforward, easy to learn. The length of the game actually comes from more analysis paralysis because
Yeah.
there is almost no luck in this game. You get, well, the only luck is in what tiles you draw.
But you get a choice. There is a fair
get-
amount of choice in
yeah.
those tiles you get, and also depends on what people put on the board. Your thing can change because say, oh, I want this blue, but there's nowhere to put it. But then someone else puts a thing that's got blue on it, and all of a sudden you've got this whole new possibility. So
depending on what you put on the board generates different amounts of
yeah,
things like science and knowledge and politics and things like that, which
Yeah.
are represented by blue, yellow, red, whatever. And then you can spend those to upgrade your technology tree. And that's the main part of the game really, is this technology tree you're growing, which gives you points for various things.
well, you've got you start with a civilization, like a Mayan or Mayan,
Everyone's got their
whatever it's
own
called,
unique
Greek.
objectives.
And
Yeah.
that's what you need to focus on, the objectives. Like
you need to be totally focused on your objectives because that's how you score the big points. There are games where it looked like I was doing all right, and then got to the objectives, and I had only done like 2, and you managed to do like 4, and you absolutely
and there's
trounced
lots
me.
of points because 4 objectives is 70 points.
Yeah. So although there is a fair number of points to be got just playing the game,
Yeah.
the vast, I think, almost half of the points
yeah.
are in the objective cards. So you should be going for those, and you realise when you've screwed up because then you were like 3 turns from the end. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I can only get one of those objectives. I don't have enough turns.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I need to be thinking ahead earlier on to work out how many turns I've got, how I'm going to get these things. So it's very thinky in that regard. So if you don't like big, thinky, complicated
but also,
games, it might not
like,
be.
I wouldn't say it's that thinky. Like, it's not as thinky as, like, Trismegistus.
No. That's a real brain burner.
But I feel like when we play, you overthink it.
Well, there's just
I'm
so
kind of
many-
like chill. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to
Yeah.
do that, and then I win. And I'm
I
like,
suppose it's quicker over time. Once you know what all the cards do, you know, right, I want to be going for this card because I remember there's a card that allows me to do this in my
Yeah.
technology. Whereas at the start, you're having to read all of them. You're like, oh, that one looks quite good. Oh, but no, but that one also looks quite good. Oh, but which one would be the better one to do?
and then I'm sitting on the other end of the table texting because, you know, it's taking
Because I'm
7
taking
hours.
too long. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Anyways,
that's number
Domination number 3.
3.
Yeah, right. It's top 2. Number 2, going with Horrified.
Ah!
Horrified. I didn't even know this game was out in the UK. I thought it was only out in America. But
I got it off of Amazon, I think.
oh, okay.
But it was
There was no-
Amazon UK, so...
And this one's not out in Poland yet.
No, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's not completely language independent because there are text on some of the cards, so yeah. But
Yeah.
if
Like, it takes one person to speak English to play.
yeah,
this game.
if you have one person game that speaks English and you get a hold of it, I certainly would, because this is a pandemic killer for me, I think.
Ooh.
It
I mean,
feels-
Pandemic was dead for me anyway. But
Yeah, you always. Well, I always found Pandemic a bit dry. I mean, I really liked it at first, but over time it just boiled it down to very basic mechanics. It wasn't
I
that
like the
difficult.
Fall of Rome,
The Fall of Rome one's really good. Yeah.
and I like the Cthulhu one,
That
just
was
because it's not got Cthulhu
solid.
in it. So I'm biased. But yeah, the Fall of Rome was great. I love the Fall of Rome.
Right, so yeah, it is kind of like Pandemic in the fact that each character has like 4 actions,
Or
depending
3
on-
or 5.
depending on the character.
Yeah.
And move is like 1 action, and then like do something is another action. So you're kind of going around the map trying to do different little things, and you're all working. It's a co-op,
Yeah.
like Pandemic,
Yeah.
and it's of that same kind of weight. Like if you feel you could play Pandemic with some non-gamers, you could play this with some non-gamers. It doesn't.
Yeah.
All it requires is for you to know the rules, and then it's not that hard to just teach people what they need
Yeah,
to
I'd
do.
say it's a family game.
Definitely
like,
a family game.
Theme is
Um,
it's not a horror theme. Like, it's not scary. It's not
Yeah.
gory or anything. Like,
No.
yeah, you go around killing Dracula or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what makes it much more interesting than Pandemic for me is because it's very every game can be very different from one
because
another.
you
It has
play
a lot
with
of
different monsters.
There are 6 monsters in
Yeah.
the base game.
6?
I am,
Is that? Yeah.
yeah, I imagine they'll probably bring out more in the future if they do any expansions, because it's quite a popular game. And so you can mix and match different ones. You can make it more difficult or easier. You can play with 2 monsters if you want to make it easy. So maybe if it's your first time playing, or if you're playing
Yeah.
with some people that maybe don't
New to
like
game.
losing.
Yeah. But what I found, like, we played with 2 and it was super easy. We played with 3 and we lost straight away. Like,
Yeah, there's quite a big jump
it
up in
just depends
difficulty.
probably what monsters you pick
So
as well.
3 is quite difficult, and
You get your favorite monsters at some point. Like, I don't like Frankenstein. I really don't like him.
yeah,
But like, I do like the Invisible Man
yeah.
and the I don't like
Well-
the Lagoon monster. No.
Well, to give you some examples, like Dracula's quite a good one. So for Dracula, he has 4 coffins in the 4 corners of the board, and you need to get weapon strength of a red weapon
Something.
strength of 6 or higher on one of those coffins, and discard that much weapons to destroy that coffin. And you need to
Yeah.
go to each one, destroy it. Once you've destroyed them all, then you need to get to Dracula and kill him with a
Something,
9
yeah.
plus strength of yellow weapons, which are like mystical weapons.
Yeah.
So there will be weapons spawning all around the map as the game goes on, and you'll be trying to pick up weapons. You're trying to pick up certain different colours. Higher values are sometimes better.
Dracula is like easy to explain, but there are some of them that are just like absolutely ridiculous. Like, you have to be in a certain space and do a certain thing, and you plan to do it, and then the thing
Yeah.
moves away from you, and then you have to chase it, and then it kills you, and
So yeah, Horrified, really like that. That plays 1 to 5 players. 5 is also good for families.
yeah,
Um,
like, I mean, we don't really have 5 players around the table very often, but
I just think it's always good to have
it is
slightly more
yeah.
people, a bit more flexibility.
Like, people say this game is too easy, but I mean, does every game have to be hard?
Yeah, I mean, you could play with 4 monsters if you wanted to. If you think it's too
Yeah.
easy, play with 4 monsters. I guarantee you will
Yeah.
probably not win.
Yeah, or like it's too repetitive. But I mean, isn't Pandemic repetitive? Like, this is less repetitive than Pandemic.
Yeah.
So hey, you wrong.
How often are you going to be playing? You're usually playing it when people come over.
Yeah.
You don't
This is
play-
another one of those games like Jaws you can play with like your mom or your dad. You know, it's
Yeah.
easy to
just
understand.
has- yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, which brings us on to our number 1, which is Awkward Guests.
Awkward Guests.
Which plays 1 to 8 people. It's essentially does what people liked about Cluedo, or Clue. Or
Yeah.
What's it called in Poland?
Cluedo.
It's called Cluedo, yeah. It's only American call it Clue. But takes out all the rubbish stuff.
Yeah.
Like, roll and move. There is no board that you're moving around and rolling a dice. That's all gone. That was pointless in Cluedo.
Mm.
What was also pointless in Cluedo, what was also annoying in Cluedo, if someone wanted to ask about a certain character in a certain room, and you were that character, you got teleported across the whole map to that room, and you were on your way to another room. That's
yeah.
really annoying.
Yeah.
None of that. what did we like about Cluedo? We like the deduction. We like trying to work out, narrowing down, like, right, so it can't be this, it can't be that.
Yeah.
And then piecing other bits of information together. Well, if it can't be this and it can't be this, and he didn't go through here, that rules out all of these things as well, and crossing off all of that.
Yeah.
Just not
I
from
like
having
drawing
seen it
on
on
that
a,
little map and
Yeah.
marking who's that.
everyone's
for.
got their own piece of paper with a map of the house and all the weapons and all the suspects and different motives, and you can draw on it, you can make notes on it, you can
Yeah.
cross stuff off, and I just think it does that deduction so well. And
If you want to see the playthrough, there's a link down below, and if you want to see a review, there's a link down below. In
Yes.
Polish.
yes,
Yes.
so I was very impressed with this game.
Yeah,
because I
big
always liked
surprise
Cluedo.
this
Cluedo was
game.
always my favourite of like the classic board games. But thinking, I hadn't played it for many years, and thinking back on it,
We've
that-
played the
we played Game
Game
of
of
Thrones
Thrones
Cluedo,
one, didn't we?
and yeah, it reminded me about the dice rolling and the moving
Yeah.
characters out, someone else moving your own character to a different room, and it's really annoying. This does away with all of that, pure deduction, and a great game.
Yeah.
The only bad thing I will say about it is it does take
Set
a
up.
long time to set up, because for each scenario you have a certain set of cards you need to do. So there are cards numbered 1 to like 280 in the box or something, and it will like, right, you need cards 2, 5, 7, 11, 12, etc. And so you
Yeah.
have to go through all the cards in the game, pick out each of the numbers you need for the game, then you
yeah,
shuffle
it's not
together.
too bad. And the good thing is the app as well. So basically, in the game, if you think you know the answer, and if you're playing without the app, you check the answer, and the rule book basically gives you the answer. So it's not like you're wrong, you can keep trying. You're wrong, you're out of the game.
Yeah.
And when you're playing with the app, you put your answer in, and if you're wrong, it just tells you you're wrong, and you cannot guess for the next round. But you stay in a game and you can keep guessing later.
Yeah.
So this is good. And also the app randomizes the scenarios as well. So even if you run out of the scenarios in the book, and by some chance you've memorized them somehow, then you've got the randomizer in the app as well. So yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So what was it? So what was it, 7?
7 Jaws, which can you get in Poland, do you think?
No, I don't know. Where's
No.
Ravensburger? So it might be, I don't know.
And that's probably not language independent, unless you have one person that speaks
Yeah.
English could probably sort it out.
7, 6.
Draftosaurus, which is coming out soon.
Yes, next year.
Yeah.
5 was
Champions of the
Champions.
Wild.
I'm still on that. Yeah.
Yeah, which is language independent.
Sort of.
Yeah, you just have animals really.
Yeah, but into specifications to the things.
That's true. Yeah, you need one person.
But you
speaking.
basically what you can do, you can take what was that game, Card Line we played with animals in Poland, remember? Just take a card line and make up something. Make up a discipline. Say,
Yeah.
we're doing this and that. Write them down on a piece of paper. Take out 3 and you can play with card line. You can print out pictures of animals, people, and do the same thing. You don't really, like, if it's... I'm just
Yeah.
saying, because it is not coming out in Poland, probably. Maybe it will, because it was Kickstarter. I don't know. But if it doesn't, this is an easy way to play it. Like, just take some other
Yeah.
game thing and do it. Whatever. So 7, 6, 5. You had 4 Sanctum.
Sanctum, yeah.
I have 4 Horrified, I think.
Yeah. Sanctum is pretty language independent.
Yeah? Actually, it is language independent.
It's all symbology
It's just
on the cards.
The very last bit when it tells you what you need to give up to get what and stuff like that on the... Yeah, I think that is out. I'm gonna check that. So that was your 4.
I mean,
that
Czech
was
Games
my 4.
Edition usually does your
Yeah.
language versions for all the games, right?
Yeah. 3 for you was Dominations.
Yeah.
For me, 3 is Sanctum. Then 2 for you was Horrified.
Yeah.
For me, 2 is Dominations.
Yeah.
And Awkward Guess is both one. It's a great game.
Considering
And
you didn't like Cluedo that
I
much at all.
don't like Cluedo.
Didn't like it
no.
at all. But this is your favourite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I like this. This more reminds me of Sherlock than anything else, pretty much. Like, but as if we were playing Sherlock competitively.
Yeah.
Then you get information. You get some, like, say we're playing Sherlock and you read one thing just for yourself,
Yeah.
and I follow my own lead, read
Yeah.
something else. That
But
would
thi-
be exactly
but
the same.
This is less kind of
less convoluted.
Less open to interpretation.
Yeah, this is facts.
This is very much like, right, I can tick off these.
Yeah, but yeah, there is some lies and stuff, but yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Great.
So that was your ranking of your birthday presents. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of happy that I bought them. Yeah, so, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and please do let us know down below if you would like us to continue with this series and talking about, I don't know,
yeah, what do you want us to talk about?
What do you want? We could talk about anything. Anything.
Whatever you want. It's up to
Whatever you want. Bye. I have to take the box because these are like, this is a very fragile construction here.
No, this is solid up here. It's just these two bottom
Well,
ones. Anyway, Champions of the Wild.
oh my god, you're moving it.
This is my next one.
No! There's a cat! Basil!
Cat shenanigans.
If this falls down, it's because there's a cat behind it.